Welcome in everyone to the weekly intuitive tarot reading. This is for June 29th through July 5th. So we are moving into July, closing out June, and we are moving into the most exciting month of the year. So yeah, we're going to take it week by week and see how things unfold throughout the week. So stay tuned for and make sure to tune into the weekly readings, because that's where we're gonna I give more like information around the astrology for that week, and then just get some information and guidance around anything that is for the best for the collective, what you need to know. So we'll tap in. For this month, since it's a big month, I'm actually going to do like a general monthly reading and just get general overview, as well as the weeklies. And also just in regards to the zodiac sign readings, I'm doing something a little different this month, and I'm doing readings for the elements. So if you're a water sign, for example, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, I'll be doing a water sign video, and at the end of the video, I'll pull a couple cards specifically for each zodiac sign. So make sure to take a look at your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and north node. And if you don't know what your be outside of your sun sign, like your moon sign, rising sign, all that, all you have to do is go online, Google free birth chart, and you can find a site and get your birth chart, and it will tell you kind of where all the planets and what signs they are. Make sure you need to know your specific birth time and the city of your birth to make sure you get the most accurate information there. Okay, so let's dig in here. We got lots for this week. This is probably one of the biggest weeks of the year, actually. It's also for those in the U.S. It is July 4th is our Independence Day, which today, this year particular, is important because it is the 250th anniversary. And July 4th is actually one of the biggest days astrologically, so lots there. Okay, so for what I want to call out generally for July, we're in the year of the fire horse. You can also look at the month and day and time of certain things and get further information around the Chinese astrology. So for July, it's actually the wood horse. So it's a fire horse year, but a wood horse month. So lots of horse energy. I just wanted to call that out because wood really stands for, wood is a very stabilizing, grounding element. So it does represent home, kind of like your place of stability. And it's also going to be asking, like, it's also how we show up in the world. And then you have the horse sign, which is a lot of movement. It's fire energy. And this is kind of like, how are we being cared for? So there's that kind of two questions this month around how are you showing up in the world, but also how are we being taken care of? And how is that in harmony? And where do we need to shift or change to be more of service in a harmonious way? Or how do we need to balance that, right? Because if we're showing up too much and not enough for ourselves, we need to kind of also, how do we balance that? And that's the balance between the yin and yang. And then we have also, how are we being cared for, right? And that can also be a question of how are we caring for ourselves? But then looking at the external world and how is our relationships, how is our environment showing up to care for us? So, all right, so first day is the 29th of June. This is a full moon in Capricorn. We also have Mercury going retrograde this month. So there's going to be a little, that with that retrograde, right? It's all about reflection. It's all about review. So when it comes to Mercury, that's Gemini and Virgo energy. but it's a lot about more of, you know, it impacts communication, technology, the details of things. So definitely, you know, it's more of being reflective and kind of sitting with things before you react, especially when it comes to conversations or communication. So, and then the full moon in Capricorn's a big one as well. So that's also a reflection of like what is not working for us. You know, what is it that we're putting energy into? What are our goals? What are our priorities, our projects, especially with that Capricorn energy? And like what's not working and how do we need to maybe adjust, reorganize, or just stop doing certain things and changing. On the 30th, we have Jupiter moving into Leo, which is a big move. And that's really around where it's going to really show up and help. And you're going to be supported more and feeling more inspired when it comes to your creativity. This is going to help your self-expression. Leo is about the self and how we express who that is, authenticity. So it's this Jupiter and Leo kind of combo is really going to help all as well make us feel more confident. It's going to clear some insecurities. It's going to help us be able to kind of show ourselves or put ourselves out there more than maybe we have been. So this is going to be a great time, especially if you're looking to, you know, turn hobbies or skills into, you know, abundance or into careers, or just showing things out and getting people to really see you and what you do. So love that as well. This week we have a mini grand trine between Mars, Uranus. So Mars is going to be conjuncting Uranus, and that happens on, let's see, the 4th. But then it's also going to trine Pluto and sextile Neptune. So the only thing I'm going to say about that mini grand trine is this is very powerful energy and very fortunate energy. So it is amazing to plug into and tap into. It's almost like an opportunity window. So this is going to be a great energy here to kind of go after what you want, go after your dreams, do things, and actually, you know, help them work out. What else do we got going on here? We have, so this week as well, a little bit on the front end, we have the Sun and Moon squaring Neptune and the Sun squaring Saturn as well. So there's going to be a little bit of paradoxical energy here because that Sun and Moon squaring Neptune, it's going to make us more sensitive. And potentially we could get more triggered. This is going to ask us to slow down and kind of not work so hard. But on the other hand, that Sun squaring Saturn is going to actually activate like action energy, doing energy, and like activating our responsibilities, wanting us to get stuff done. So at the same time, it's like, right, those are conflicting. Is like, we want to do things, take action, work on projects, get things done. But then also that Neptune energy is like, wait, don't work so hard. So, and that square to the Sun squaring Saturn is actually going to activate like destined events as well, fated events. So it'll be an interesting week for sure with these energies. The last two things I want to say, then we get into July. On the 4th, we have that Mars conjunct Uranus. I'm probably going to do an individual reading on that one, but that's going to be major, shocking, sudden events happening. So the only thing I'm going to say right now is for the July 4th, the only recommendation is maybe stay away from big crowds and do more small gatherings just because of the energy, because a lot of things can happen, especially when there's more people in one place. And then lastly, on the 5th, we have Mars trining Pluto. So this is great goal energy, like goal directing energy, like going after what you want, going after putting effort, creativity into something and making it, you know, worth something. But this is also going to help clear the air, right? Pluto and Mars are both rulers of Scorpio, and it's about bringing the unconscious to the surface, bringing secrets up. So this is going to be uncovering things that maybe we didn't fully see, but doing that is going to help kind of clear things and kind of bring some relief sense, okay? So there was a lot there because there's a lot going on this week. But now we can dive into the reading and see what is going on for the week. As usual, thank you all for joining in and watching my videos. If you like this video or like my general information I give, definitely like and subscribe. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome. I do a mix here on my channel of intuitive readings, tarot, channeling, astrology, a little of all the above. Okay, let's get some oracle cards to get a basis of the week here. Wisdom. Blessings. Purity. So what I heard come in is wisdom opens up unexpected blessings here. And wisdom, to me, wisdom opens up. So there's something that you become, it's almost like something finally, it's almost like a download, or all the puzzle pieces come together and you learn something from something you went through or something that happened, or just getting kind of in that like awakening, like another piece of your awakening, like you awaken more to an understanding of something or how to do something or why something has been blocked for you. But what that's doing is clearing like an energetic wall, which is now opening up, and new things are growing, and which it's almost like things fall into place and things happen more easily, kind of out of what you would say, oh, unexpectedly, but really it's not, right? You already primed the energy and sowed the seeds for this to happen. Purity as well, to me, is really about clearing the slate of something. And again, there's something about like there was some energetic blocks that you finally, this was like a destined portal time frame for you, where the new wisdom and the shifts and embodiment now are actually clearing and purifying the old, anything that needs to release energetically from you. So this is happening at the beginning of the July, because now the rest of July is opening up new blessings to come in. And there's a lot that is waiting to come in, I'm feeling. Don't let your past hold you back. Exactly what I just said. So this wisdom is coming from your past, something you went through, an experience or a lesson here. And again, it's been kind of, maybe there was an attachment there that you didn't fully weren't conscious of or didn't think it was still there, but that is finally releasing here. A time for healing. Yes, definitely believe in the impossible. So now that you have cleared this attachment, now you can fully integrate this. And maybe you felt like you already did in a sense, but I feel like there was still some residual there. And now the impossible can be made possible. And I also am getting that, I think in your dreams, I'm getting that a lot of people in their dreams have changed and they're shifting. And there's something about dreams proving to you and showing you that, like, things are happening in your dreams that maybe you, even in your dreams, you might stop and think like, well, maybe this isn't normally what maybe you're questioning like, oh, I don't know if I deserve this, or this is too nice for me, or like your dreams are kind of showing you like the impossible happening, or like something opening up for you and you kind of questioning like, is this real? But it is going to be real, and it's going to come in the physical here. For some of you, I'm also getting with this, don't let your past hold you back. There could be a little reappearance as well with that retrograde. Sometimes at Mercury retrograde, things from the past can show up. It could also be past kind of feelings or something triggering you. It doesn't mean that someone comes back from the past, but there could be like this little of this reappearance of something. And it's really happening just like, again, just for you to kind of, again, filter this, integrate this, and really finally be aware of what this lesson was, or what it was trying to show you, so that you can heal it. All right, let's tap into the readings here. We have the King of Swords showing up. 6 of Pearls, which is Pentacles. And then the 9 of Swords. So the first thing that came up is and sorry, the pearls are actually cups. So that's, again, the past. So this card is the card of the past, or nostalgia. And we have this 9 of Swords, which can be about repeating patterns. Things we're stuck in. Things that we're stuck in this loop that keep going around and around. And either, some of you, this King of Spears can be someone you're connected to, where this is someone either from your past or someone that you just keep repeating these patterns with. But there's some sort of past connection here, or energetic cord. This could be tied to alternate lifetimes, but there's just this like repeating pattern here. And it's like, I think that's what the Oracle is talking about too, is really wrapping this up and clearing this pattern from this person. If it's not someone you're connected to that you're stuck in a pattern with, it could be specifically an air sign. So that would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Or this could refer to just you and like showing up too much in your mind. Like you try and process too much in your mind. You lead with your intellect, you lead with your mind, and you kind of feel like your emotions are kind of your weakness. So you try and not be too vulnerable. You try and show up in kind of in a way where you feel like your ego needs to feel smart and powerful in that sense of how you speak or communicate, or you want to appear strong and able. But this has kind of kept you in a repeating pattern of protection, of not being too vulnerable, allowing people to get too deep in your heart space because of something that happened in your past. So let's see what else with this. 5 of Treasure, which would be the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, this has been a really difficult pattern or experience that you've been stuck in. This could be a lifetime that you've been dealing with certain dynamics. Just, again, certain lessons that you're like relationship patterns. But this has definitely left you feeling depleted, not filled. And, you know, the question of this month is, how am I being cared for? Right? How am I being cared for? And this card definitely is one where you're not being, like, feeling neglected. This could also have manifested out and impacted your level of abundance because you don't feel cared for. So there's also people that were not cared for truly or really cared for emotionally, physically, tend to not feel worthy or not feel good enough to receive. So this has also manifested out as a lack of abundance, maybe money issues, not feeling that you're really attracting or magnetizing what you feel you want to experience in life. But look at this in the heart of the reading, the Ace of Wands. So I love this in the center because at the heart of everything this week, it's about a reignition of fire within you, a reignition of love, of passion, a love of creativity, of expression. There's like this light of fire, your soul's being lit again to see things, kind of enlighten things, right? Again, with the cards, enlighten something and getting some wisdom. It's like lighting a dark room and you're able to see things and be like, oh, I didn't even know it was here. Now it kind of all makes sense to me. And the Hermit. So something else which I had a note in here, I didn't talk about it, but this week, it's that Sun and Moon squaring Saturn. This energy, it's almost like you're gonna want to be more in solitude, hermit-like, right? And the recommendation is to spend some time alone to process that energy because it can be a little like headbutting when there's too many cooks in the kitchen there. So this week there is this little bit of like solitude, needing some solitude to really kind of just feel into what you're feeling and what's coming up for you this week, especially when we're kind of like needing to really gain some inner wisdom here to kind of, to me, there's something here about this pattern and nostalgia coming up. The past is reappearing for you to really process this in a different way. And maybe this has already been happening. I feel like this has been happening for me. Like I'm really resonating with this. And especially with the dream thing. I feel like I'm really been processing a lot of past things the last couple weeks leading up to this week. So this is kind of the climax of this, or like we're finally closing this out. I like this though, the Empress. The Chariot. Woof. Yeah, there's that horse energy. So things are, I feel like this is like the beginning of the week to midweek, and then this is the end of the week. And then the Knight of Cups. Okay. So if this is speaking to relationship dynamics or patterns or a specific relationship that you maybe did end, but there's still some lingering tied attachments or energy here that you've been kind of like thinking through a lot. You've been mentally processing this of like, what does this mean? How do I feel about this? Like, what kind of space or relationship do I create with this now? And maybe it's redefining what this relationship looks like with somebody, because there's something new coming in here or wants to come in. And I think that's why this is happening this week, is because the new needs to come in. But for the new to come in, there needs to be this, for the impossible blessings to come in, there needs to be some integration here and purification of this Five of Treasure, this Five of Pentacles. You need to kind of almost cleanse this, because this has been something you've been carrying for some time. I'm just keep getting this word of neglect, emotional neglect. But you are the Empress here. So if for those of you where it resonated where you were the King of Swords, I feel like you're transforming into the Empress. And this is that yin and yang balance here. And really coming into your divine feminine energy here. And you're this is a shift, right? This is a shift, and you're trying too hard to make things happen, or you're trying too hard. You focus too much on the doingness of life, of responsibilities, of your goals and checklists. But now there's that Capricorn energy, that full moon at Capricorn, which now you're realizing, what do I need to release, right? What ideas, beliefs, how I show up in the world, maybe things from the past. What do I need to release to come into my Empress energy here, which is about learning to just receive. The Empress is the ultimate just receptive energy. And she is so clear that she just literally attracts abundance and love and wealth and all the good things in life by just her energy vibration here. And that's what opens up this Chariot energy, which is also too this balance between the two horses. The yin and yang come into balance, and then things actually can finally, movement can happen. And that's where this King or this Knight of Cups comes in. So this could be if you're looking for love, this could be a new love coming in. This could be, for some of you, a renewal of falling in love with yourself. And again, like, how do I show up for myself in a more loving, nurturing way? And then for some of you, this could be within a current dynamic. Like, again, this can only happen if the other person is willing to face these dynamics and be willing to do the inner work to shift them. This isn't, again, anything when it comes to dynamics, belief systems, especially in relationships, we tend to just think of it as a relational issue. Like, we need to work on this together in a relationship. But really what it means is you both are coming into the pair mirroring each other. So the only way you can really either attempt to overcome or resolve relational dynamics that cause suffering, challenge, heartache, is by doing the inner work. By being fully aware and deep diving into, okay, what is the mirror that this person is reflecting back to me? And then you're finding those parts in yourself that are stuck, or that are still stuck in these old traumatic situations, or still believe that you're not safe, that you can't trust people. Like, there's so many things, and that's why I always recommend, it's called IFS therapy. It's a method of therapy. I don't even like to call it therapy because I think it's such a magical thing, and it's doing parts work. It's doing inner work with your parts. And I really feel like it is the ultimate therapeutic way of deep diving into all of the layers. Like when the picture of the iceberg, it's like you're getting the top of the iceberg, but you're diving in and getting all the lower levels. And you can't really do full integration work or healing unless you go to the root of things. And most especially just talk therapy, you're just literally skimming maybe right below the surface. So, love this energy here. Let's just talk to this King of Swords. What does he have to say here? Queen of Cups. Yeah, so there's definitely two parties here. This is referencing relational dynamic here. For some of you, this could refer to the mother-father, but I think for most, it's referring to you and someone else here, that there's been some long-standing dynamic or relationship here that definitely has been a deep one in your past, but this has still kind of kept you in some sort of loop here. What's the Ace of Coral, Ace of Wands? Page of Pentacles. So yeah, this is that lesson, right? This is really learning something, gaining some new information, new wisdom. It could come in suddenly, or you could just automatically learn a lesson just out of the blue, like you finally see it for what it is. Especially with that Uranus conjunct Mars. Mars conjunct Uranus. Let's see, let's talk to this Knight of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. and then the High Priestess. For those of you, this is a person coming in. I feel like you're going to meet them and you're just going to know. Like this High Priestess, there's that soul recognition here. Your souls definitely resonate because obviously your souls were connected in higher dimensions or alternate lives. But there's something here about Eight of Pentacles. So this is about work or doing the work. So you could just be, you know, how this comes about, like you're just biding your time, doing your inner work, or just focused on your life, you know, physically, and all of a sudden, bam, this comes out of nowhere. Some of you could meet this person through some sort of work event or situation here, or some sort of project or hobby that you're putting out in the world. This could be, with the High Priestess, this could be those of you that are kind of diving into more spiritual work here. I just want to get more on the Six of Cups, Nine of Swords, Queen of Coral. You're definitely overcoming Eight of Coral. Yeah. Your confidence in regards to this pattern is shifting. You're gaining more confidence. You're seeing your worth. You're realizing that you don't have to stay stuck in this, or if there's some sort of attachments here, because you didn't see your own power. There's something around like finally seeing your power and gaining confidence to move away from the past. And there's movement here. You have the Chariot and the Eight of Wands here. So you're moving. There's fast movement here because there's places you got to be and people you got to meet here. Because something in the past has definitely really sucked you dry of emotions, of your cup just not getting filled. Like, there's a lot there. But take some time this week. If you're feeling more inclined to not do too much or be by yourself, that's okay. All right, everyone. Interesting week ahead. Lots to process here, but take it easy. Go slow. Especially, you know, up through to the weekend here. And we will connect again next weekend and see kind of how things kind of played out, and then see what the next week will bring. So thanks for joining in. Have a good 4th of July to those of you in the US. And for the rest of you, enjoy your summer. See you in the next reading.